Feel the difference with CBD Direct Oils.
CBD oils may have the health benefits for your aches and pains. PDRcontractors.com, developed to connect, promote, and advance the paintless dent repair industry. Start your membership today.
Welcome to another episode of PDR Tool Time. Today's episode is number 212. I am joined alongside of Vince D'Alessandro and Mr. Daniel Grom, and out on remote location, complete with no cell signal, stuck in the COVID-19 land of Houston, is Mr. Hudson Tansey. So he is out for this week. How is everything going?
Well, God, you know, you're like in the one state that the COVID-19 isn't, right?
Oh, no, we've got 9 cases and 1 death already.
Okay.
Well, that escalated really quickly. You guys, like last week, had nothing.
Well, they kind of showed up and then, yeah, but they don't know if the only guy that died, they can't say whether COVID-19 actually killed him. He had a whole host of health issues.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so honestly, while you guys are all stuck out there in quarantine land, that I would like to just say, I call that Monday. So that has been my everyday since I took this job working from home.
Yeah.
So,
You know, it's getting pretty real out there. And, you know, one thing I would like to say is this will pass. You know, my personal thing is I implemented new rules today, and basically I'm acting like if I was a nurse or a doctor at a hospital, what would I do to protect myself, and doing those same things, just be responsible. But I still got people coming in, so I'm going to take the work when I can get it.
Yep, same.
Yeah.
And you know what? Next week we're going to have Ingrid Schneider on, and she's going to be
nice.
Yeah, so she's going to come on the podcast, and she's going to be talking about what she did with Front Range over there in Colorado and help them build up, and what she's a business coach. So
Yes.
she's going to give us some professional advice and some things to go off of. And I'm sure we're going to be touching on it from here and there, you know, throughout this podcast as well. Oddly enough, for our listeners that don't know, we actually record on Tuesdays. It's St. Patrick's Day today, right now, that we're recording. So, and we're actually doing a video one of this, so we're going to have it on our YouTube channel as well, because we're going to be talking about some stuff on MTRX as well. It's a visual thing, so we're going to have to see that. And John is graciously going to share screens with all of us and show us what we're doing, and
That's right.
stuff that we've done as well. Myself
Yeah.
and Daniel, right?
Yep.
But before we do that, we have Mr. Dan Ontrop from PDR Contractors on, which we're all on PDR Contractors. John, yourself, you're on there too, right?
Not yet, but probably very soon.
Yes. Well, I don't want to keep him, you know, he's 3 hours ahead. So
Yep.
let's bring Dan on. Dan Old, the man, the myth, the legend. We've had you on a few times. We'd love you on here. You got one of the greatest products in our industry right now that a lot of people know a little bit about, and a short amount of people know a lot about, because you've really helped out a short amount of people in a short amount of time.
Mr. Dan Ontrop.
Yeah.
Hey, Vince, how much have you had to drink already today, man?
Mouthful.
Well, thanks for having me on, guys. I'm actually more programmed to West Coast time right now. I've spent more time out there the last few weeks than I have in the Eastern time zone. So, yeah, happy to be on the show.
Yeah, well, we were able to share a meal together, which is always fun, hanging out with you. Besides, at Mobile Tech Expo.
Yeah, it was good.
So Dan, I'm seeing kind of crawling across Facebook here. You're getting some retail leads and shooting them out to the guys on PDR Contractors. Are those starting to roll in with some frequency now?
Yeah, I mean, we're receiving hundreds of leads every month as a direct result of us ramping up our ad spending for the members. You know, I kept telling guys, hang in there with us, bear with us. We have to build the directory before we can start spending members' money to generate leads, because a directory with no technicians doesn't do a whole lot of good to the general public.
Right.
So we hit that number of 300 members where we felt pretty confident that we had good coverage throughout the United States. So every member that signed up, we're logging their zip code into the database through the analytics, and we're targeting those zip codes.
Nice.
And some broader advertising to go along with that, but we want to make sure we're hitting all those spots where our members are. So yeah, to the tune of hundreds of leads per month and thousands of views to the site per month. And we're going to start going really strong with ad spending once hail season kicks off.
And we're right there, right? We're on the verge of kicking off.
We are right there. I would say, by April 1st, typically I don't get too serious until April, me personally. There's always a couple storms to start the season early. But typically I'm kind of a day after Easter type of guy where it's time to really get out there and start hustling. But yeah, we're ramping up. I was just out in California. Vince, saw you out there for a week. And then I actually went to the belly of the beast and I was in Seattle for a week.
How do you feel?
I told my wife, I said, don't freak out. I just landed in Charlotte from a direct flight from Seattle. And I said, I'm not joking. I was a little bit dizzy today and kind of had some sweats and don't know if I was feeling the best. She made me sleep in the basement for 2 days. But
is that where you are right now, in the basement?
That's where I'm at right now. I'm still quarantined. Yeah. So. But yeah, it was a good trip out there. I was actually meeting with John, my business development and project manager. We were going over the ad spending budget for 2020. And, he does a good job. He's telling me, hey, man, open that wallet. Let's go. So that's what we're going to do.
Cool. Sweet.
Yeah.
How many do you want to say how many members you got now? Or
yeah, we're right around 300. It's constantly changing up and down just for the fact that guys can sign up for a 30-day free trial. So some guys do the 30-day free trial. They don't convert, or they say, hey, this looks awesome. I'm going to wait till hail season really gets ramped up, whether they're a local guy or a hail tech. Which I totally understand. So
let's dive into this. First of all, give us a little snippet of why guys that are getting ready for hail season, because that's what we're kind of talking about, is getting ready for hail season. Even though we have this dramatic health crisis right now, we want to get guys ready to go, and so they can start making money. What is PDR Contractors going to do for them?
So we promote them to the general public and then provide them a networking database. So as a local technician in local markets, if hail hits that area, we want those leads coming directly to them. So hopefully we get retail customers directly reaching out to them instead of collision centers and keep quite a bit more of the money. And then in the event of a catastrophic storm in their market, they can efficiently source subcontracting technicians that are professional hail techs based off of their criteria. And the reason behind that is we want those local companies to be supported by professional technicians to support their local markets and keep their accounts happy. Man, I hear it every year and I hate hearing it, but local guys, when they receive a cat storm, they kind of get overran by the hail chasers, and
brokers.
We want to support those. Yeah. And brokers. And we want to support those local techs in those local markets that have, built up those relationships for 20 years.
So this takes a small guy and can make him instantly a big guy and be able to compete with the big guys.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, anybody that's a member can go on there and has a tech database, just like the big guys do. We're all fishing out of the same pond. So for the hail techs, it's greatly beneficial because you can be seen in those local markets by those local companies. So you can update your current location via the app. And the idea is just to connect everyone to make it more efficient and have PDR guys control the PDR industry.
And that's the beautiful thing that I like about it. Even though, I'm a retail location, I'm on PDR contractors as location in California. But however, if I went to go chase Hale and I was in Tennessee, I can mark myself in Tennessee ready to work. Correct?
Yeah, for sure. You can do it two ways. You can do it on the site, which is a little bit more cumbersome, or you can do it through the mobile app, which is you open the mobile app, you hit one button, and it updates your exact current location.
Right. So it's kind of like you see these things. They're probably going to be on the move all season long. While hailstorms are hitting, you're going to see all these little pins moving to different areas throughout the Midwest or Colorado or wherever the storms are happening. Right.
Yeah, and it's some people will contact me and say, "Dano, are you in so and so?" And I say, "Yeah." And they say, "Well, I see your pin pop up all of a sudden." Just I was in California, then back in Tennessee, then in Washington. And in North Carolina and then South Carolina, so every time I go somewhere, I just open my app, hit the use my current location pin and it shows.
Wait a second. Our wives can't use that if we're at the strip club.
Yeah. So Daniel, if you're dumb enough to check in at the strip club, then yeah, we need to talk a little bit.
Actually, they're not. The strip clubs are closed right now, but fortunately, they're offering online virtual lap dances.
How the hell do you even know this?
They were talking about it on the radio this
morning.
Yeah,
they were talking about it on the radio. Yeah,
the Chatterbait site.
and then the other guy's like, "Wait a second, that's just porn." They were doing that forever.
Well,
well,
the strip clubs might or might not have been open last Saturday when I was in Boston.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Vince, you told me you were done partying when you go to those events.
Yeah. Well, I actually was there for 4 or 5 days. So I had
a long
Sunday. I got in on Thursday, so there might have been a couple partaking of parties prior to.
Yeah. I've been quarantined.
Well, you know what's cool too about PDR contractors is that if say you could track the tool trucks as well.
Yeah. I'm sporting the Anson hat right now, but Chris and Biggs, when they're traveling around, they can update their current location and they can see where the technicians are at. So it's super helpful to those guys, that they're not driving all over the country, wasting gas and ass time in the seat. They want to sell tools. We want tools. So super helpful for those guys.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Now, just to clarify, because I lived in the land of paranoid hail techs, you don't have to update your location, correct?
Correct, sir. Yep, absolutely. And just as a preference, I'm a technician too, a hail tech primarily. So I know exactly how this all goes, but the only time it doesn't track you currently as your phone goes, you have to physically hit a button on the app and it'll just drop a pin where you are currently. As soon as you move from that location, it doesn't follow you. And then if you don't want to update your current location, you don't have to. It just use your permanent business address. So my permanent business address is in East Tennessee. If I don't use my current location, it's always going to show me in East Tennessee. But if I'm traveling for Hale, I'm definitely updating my current location because I want people to know where I'm at so they can contact me if they need help.
Right. Yeah. Now, on the flip side of that too, you also have contracts on PDR contractors as well, correct?
Yes, sir. That's been a passion of mine.
And you've talked about it on here many times about the contracts that have sealed the deal for you a year before you ever have a hailstorm in that area.
Actually, this last year it sealed the deal 10 years before a hailstorm.
Wow.
So they're super powerful, and guys are understanding it. The word's getting out. I just had 2 guys purchase them this week. I do consulting with them. So it's really fun to get guys up to speed and hear the success stories about how they're locking down accounts, how they're getting paid quickly and correctly. And it's one of those things. If you're a member of PDR Contractors, there's a special tab on there when you log in under contracts. It gives you all the information. It's a one-time purchase price. You purchase them. We personalize the documents so they look like yours, and then we coach you up on how to implement them in your market and be prepared for hail season.
That's freaking awesome. That's awesome. I think that alone is worth it right there. Well,
yeah, that's kind of an invaluable resource ultimately because Dan, you've as you've talked about these in the past, but you spent a lot of time to build these contracts and kind of perfect them over the years.
Yeah,
So,
years and years and years of a lot of lumps on the chin. It's, I've developed and built these contracts to save other guys the heartache and the financial liability that I endured over the years. So yeah, it's one of those things. If somebody would have offered me this, 10 years ago, I'd have been all over it.
Right.
But yeah,
doubt.
I mean, a lot of guys are curious about the price. The price is $1,749
For the year.
for one time for the contract. You pay it one time in the
Contract,
years.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can use them 1,000 times if you want. And like I said, we're not trying to make a huge revenue stream off this contract template package. We're trying to get these in the market so guys understand how to use them and how to incorporate them. And then PDR Contractors is $299 a year. So, yep, one retail lead, a quarter panel on a Hale car. There were several guys last year that made tens of thousands of dollars off of one phone call.
Yeah.
So it's working, and it's it's catching steam, and guys that are using it are realizing the benefits of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, Dan. Oh my gosh.
6 deep.
I talked to Don right before. Hold on, let me take another drink. Dan, let's do this. We don't want to keep you all night here. We'll let you get going, but we're gonna have you on in the future here. As soon as Hale starts popping, we're gonna have you back on here and talk to our good listening audience and get them to sign up and do the right thing and get on PDR Contractors.
Yeah, that'd be great, guys. Yeah, and all you guys listening, 30 days free, no strings attached. Get on there. I'll give you a one-on-one training if you want. You don't have to enter any credit card information. It's totally risk-free. So we'd love to have you. And, I appreciate you guys having me on.
Awesome.
Yeah, and Dan, I'll be reaching out to you probably in the coming future here. So
yeah. Oh, and for all you guys that read that MobileTechRX/PDR Contractors Dan O'Dent's article, I want to say a huge thank you to MobileTechRX. Ellie over there did the case study with us off of a storm we did last year, and it was phenomenal. We got great response out of that, John. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, that was awesome that you were able to sit down with Ellie and get that done.
Yeah. So, well, cool, guys. We will talk to you later.
Absolutely.
And Vince, I won't call you too early in the morning. Your head will be hurting, I'm sure.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully it will.
All right.
Awesome.
See you guys.
See you, Dan.
Right. Thanks, Dan.
All right. Thanks.
So we lost our man, the other Dan.
Yeah, Mr. Grom. We lost the Grominator for a couple of moments. He's trying to finish up his mortgage refinancing. Everybody's, you got to leap on what you can leap on right now. And
I'm doing the same.
When you're in the off season, man, and you can dump these mortgage rates. I mean, we're talking rates down into the threes. So, well worth doing.
I haven't refinanced since I think 2008. It's been a really long time. I was like 4.275 or whatever. It wasn't bad.
Right.
But, our listening audience knows I'm moving to Texas. So I'm actually cashing out. I got a shit ton, pardon my French, of equity in my house that I live in Long Beach, California. I'm just going to buy something outright if everything works out properly. So,
heck yeah.
It's just taking a long time. Everyone's refinancing, and there's a long line of people waiting to refinance.
Yeah, everybody's leaping onto it. But
okay, Mr. Renstrom.
Yeah,
man of the hour.
All right. Well, I guess while we're waiting for Daniel, because Daniel already knows this news because we've already spoke, and I know Daniel wants to go over what we're going to talk about with MobileTechRX. Yeah. But for me, I'll make a little quick announcement. It's been no lie that I love fixing cars. We talk about that all the time. those that talk to me at the shows know that computers are not my forte. They are not my love. They are not my life. Fixing cars is my love in my life. So I am going to be moving on from Mobile Tech RX. I'm still going to be still have my investment. I'm just not going to work for Mobile Tech RX full time. I am actually going to go back to doing cars.
Well, we weren't like the influence on that with all the influx of tools that we're talking about all the time, making you jealous. That, you're like, oh, well, I'm just a desk jockey now. I'm stuck here. Or cars, Hale cars.
I'll admit there's a bit of me that's jealous every single time we talk about it, and then I get on and do all the tools at the trade shows, and yeah, I'm like, God dang it, I want to use that. I wanted to fix that dent. That was the dent I wanted, and so I'm going to get back to what I love, and I love fixing cars. So my social media accounts will be personal. I'm going to remove myself from basically all aspect of Mobile Tech RX.
Oh, well, that's a big announcement. And, obviously we wish you a lot of luck. Mobile Tech RX has been wonderful for us. We'll still talk about it and still promote it. And it's not to do it. Well, we just do it because we love it. I mean, it's funny. It's great.
Honestly, we've got a whole team now that's doing all of it. So, I mean, they're way more talented at the social media, the video. I mean, I have to call them and if I have to keep calling them, it makes no sense for me to keep dragging them down. So we got the awesome people doing that. So, but speaking of that, we did do a lot of changes. Apparently my background's going to go a little crazy here. But we're going to do some screen shares. And
invaded by aliens or something.
Yeah, apparently my green screen's got the coronavirus or something.
You're perfectly fine there for a while. All of a sudden,
it started going crazy. So we've got a few things that are going into some new updates that have come out here very recently. So a few of those are going to be some text alerts where we can set up auto texting to your customers. That's going to be more of a retail shop type setup. For the Hale guys, you're going to be able to build your own custom Hale matrix. Yep. And we're going to kind of walk through both of those here today about how to set those up, how to build those text alerts. And then when we get done with the text alerts and the custom matrix, then I'll kind of go through what we've got coming down the pipeline very, very soon.
Well, now people might not understand what's going on with these text alerts and why they want to do the text alerts. I'll tell you why I want to do them. If you guys were listening to last week's podcast, we were talking about, we just discovered them, myself and Daniel. We had no idea that you were allowed to do this stuff. So this is what I've been dreaming for ages. Reason being is that customer retention. I do tons and tons of estimates on a daily basis, right? And I shine it on. I don't even think about it. Once they leave the door, they either commit or they call in a few days or they go away and I never see them again. It's they go away and never see them again that I need to capture, especially in this type of environment that we're currently in. There's so much work that I have missed out on by not keeping close tabs, or at least reaching out to the people that I have already given estimates to. So, that's where I'm at. And that was an aha moment when you showed this to us last week. It was like, holy crap. Aha. This is how we get a hold of all those estimates that I've blown off,
Yeah. And so what the idea behind the text alerts is, when you write either an estimate or send off your invoice to your customer, you can also auto set a text alert right at that time that says whatever you need it to say. So you're gonna be able to send that text off and give up. In fact, I can only have one device on my attached to the screen share at a time.
Well, do you want to? Because I have mine set up right now. Unshare
Well,
yours.
I've got. I can put my phone on. But
you can. Okay.
what you're going to do is you're going to set your text alerts. And how you're going to set those text alerts is you're going to come into your back office portal. So you're going to log into your admin portal on the website. And of course, you're going to start over here on that home screen, right at your company information. You're going to go straight on down to the bottom here. And I'm going to put up a couple little arrows just because it helps. We're going to client text alerts. So you need to start these, and you're going to custom set up the text alerts. We've got a base default in there, but you're ultimately going to want to set up these text alerts for yourself. So you click on your client text alerts, and then here's what I did. I did the tool time text, and you're going to come in and you just click the add. You're going to put in the name, and then you're going to put in your message, and here's where you're just going to type in what you want. And you can include your calendar if you have an auto calendar that you've been able to send that link out.
Yeah.
You can send that. Like here, I've got the Mobile Tech sign up page, and I've got follow our Twitter and our Instagram. Now, something that Vince and I messed around a little bit with and were kind of problematic was the Google link or your Google review sites.
I got it dialed in now.
You got that dialed in? Because I was on your website and I still couldn't get to your Google reviews from your website.
Okay.
No matter how hard I try.
But okay, so click over to unshare your screen, and I'll share mine, and I'll show you what I have set up on mine. Because I'm actually doing this. I'm literally doing this and sending these out to customers right now.
Yeah.
So if I show you here, desktop 2 and share. So you see that? You guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So my first one is my thanks text. This is what I send out the day after they leave. Okay. As soon as they leave, I set it up for an alert saying, hey, text this person that just fixed their car tomorrow at this time. And this is the message that they're going to get. In a world full of choices, thank you for giving us the opportunity to work on your vehicle. We appreciate the confidence you have placed in us and hope we have met your expectations. Please help D&M, Dents No More, and future customers by leaving a review with either Yelp or Google. Here are the links. Here's the links for your convenience. I have my Yelp link and my Google link. Now, if you look at those, they're small little links now. What I found out is tinyurl.com. That's the one you want to go to. So it's going to take a huge link and compress it down to just a small little link. And that way, the customer, they don't see this giant link that they have to wonder what it is.
It gets a little overwhelming. So yeah, Vince, if you want to kick that off, I'll actually throw my phone up with the text on the phone and how it
there you go
pops in.
Your green screen is really going nuts.
Yeah, I'm going to have to.
Are you
so this is how those.
I know you're back, Daniel.
Yep, I'm back.
Okay.
So this is how that text comes through here. So we can see this bottom text is that exact text that I sent out regarding your 2017 Cadillac CTS V. Here's where you type that, and then you can see these are just the simple click links. And then as soon as they tap that link, takes you right to it.
That's awesome.
So it's really simple. So make sure that you're going in, and I'm going to put this up one more time here. Get into that back office portal. You're going to want to go to that main screen, go down that left side column, and you want to go to the client text alerts and make sure you set those in. Build that whole thing. Make sure you click the save button at the bottom of the screen.
I forgot to not hit the save, so make sure you did.
All right. So then once you've done that, then when you're in on your device, and we'll bring up the iPad this time because that way you guys don't have to see all the stuff coming through.
Oh, yeah.
And we're in an estimate. So once we are in our estimate, or our invoice, it doesn't matter. Either one of those two, we're going to that right side menu. We're going to bring up that right side menu. We're going all the way down to the bottom Second from the bottom, we're going to hit that alerts.
That's the 3 dots for you guys that don't know how to pull that up.
Yep, the 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner, or swipe the whole screen to the left should do it as well.
I wish it said text alerts or text.
Well,
You
since
know
you're,
that are there.
I'm not the complaint department anymore,
I
Daniel.
know. Hey.
Send it into the helpline. But you hit the create new, and here's where the customer phone number automatically populates in. Then you just select which one of your alert templates. So even if you have 20 of them, you're just kicking it in.
Yep.
And saying what it is now, and you can choose to put in that vehicle. And then when we roll in that date, we can set the date
and the time.
And then we can move the time.
Yeah.
So you set the date and the time. So even if you want this reminder to go out, say a week in advance, so you do a big door dent, and then it's the 3 days, and you send them out that reminder to click those links in 3 days and leave you those Google reviews.
Yep.
Or like Vince said, he's sending his off on every one of his old estimates that did not schedule. Yes. And giving them a second opportunity. This is a very simple way to give those people that second chance to come in and spend their money with you.
Did you already go over that, Vince?
Yeah. We did go over that alert, but I went over the thank you alert. My estimate retention alert is a 15% discount that I give them. And I say use discount code I'm ready. But Daniel probably has one too that is probably more clever than mine.
No, I don't have one. Actually, you brought, and that's what I'm kind of excited about this, because I want to see what other guys are doing. And hopefully we can share that on PDR Tool Time's Facebook page, ideas of ways of generating business, because honestly, that's the hardest thing I have to deal with, is trying to figure out what kind of offers do you offer customers to bring them in without giving away too much, you know?
I hate giving or discounts. It's one thing I just hate doing. So in this one, it's an estimate retention where they got to be gone for weeks, maybe even a month before I'm going to send this out. And it says, let us know if you still require work to your vehicle. We will be happy to help. In the meantime, here's 15% discount to help out with your decision. Feel free to give us a call when you're ready to schedule an appointment, our office number, and then discount code I'm ready. So,
that's brilliant. I mean, well said. Well done.
And Vince, I asked you this privately, but now we're going out in public. Where do they enter that coupon code?
They don't. They just tell me, I'm ready. I'm ready to schedule.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, good enough. So, because especially in this trying times where it's going to be hard to get people in the door to begin with. And if you get them in the door and you don't capture them as a customer, you got to be able to get back to them somehow. And, me personally, I've been lacking on that the last year because I know I'm on my way out. But the problem that I have right now is I have a business for sale, and I have to retain the customers that are coming in if I'm ever going to sell this business successfully. So that's
I think I'm going to make them say something ridiculous like boom shakalaka boom.
Tiki Danny or something.
Tiki room.
Tiki.
All right.
Okay, so there's another thing we got to go over, John.
So now we're going to go over the next thing. I got to move my screens around just a little bit. So we're going to come back up to here. We're going to be back at our home thing.
We're going to go to our fancy estimates now, right?
So, right now we're going to build our own Hale matrix. So
okay.
for those of you who have been bugging the heck out of us about building your own Hale matrix, this time we're coming in. We're going to be, again, right back here at our home screen where we've got the company info, and we're going to come into the PDR matrices. And we're going to click on that. And then here we get to download. Now, this has to be done from a computer. You're not going to be able to do this on your mobile device whatsoever. You're going to download the template file, which is going to be this CSV file, which
I'm doing it right now as you're doing it because I haven't really done that. Actually, I can't do it.
all right.
Never mind.
Force it to come up. So you're going to download this CSV file. And then now I open mine. This is opening up into Microsoft Excel. If you're using an Apple machine, you can use numbers, but you want it to be in the CSV file. Let me throw another little arrow up because we're going to go through a lot here. Right here, where it says space test, this number 1B is where you'll put the matrix name in. Okay. Then this is Excel's little 1 to 5, loves to change that to a date and time, and I'll show you how to correct that. Then you're going to come in and change each one of these values to what it is you want them to be. So now, as you'll notice the difference between our custom Hale matrix building versus any other custom Hale matrix building format. We go all the way up to these monster amounts. So most of the other ones cut off wherever the cutoff point is of the State Farm matrix. Ours does not. Again, we allow you to go as far and as high and put as big in numbers as you want.
Nice.
So when you build this, then you can see here, I've got the tool time tests that we saw in my back office portal. We can see that I changed this price to the 200, the 300, the 400, and the 500. Now, again, Excel makes this change. I had to take a little training course to learn this part. So I'll just walk you through this real quick. We're going to highlight this row. We're going to left click it. We will format that cell. We're going to change it back to text. We're going to say OK. And then we need to change this into the 1 to 5 category and this to 6 to 15. Now, this isn't an Apple thing. This is a stupid Excel thing that drives me absolutely nuts, but there's nothing I can do about it.
You have to keep on going down to line 14 and 15.
Yeah, you'll have to go all through all of them because it changed each one of those dates. Now, I'm not going to do that because of the time that it would require.
Okay.
But
We got it.
Once you do that, save, upload that new matrix, and you will see that matrix name now apply, and it will be in the user submitted Hale matrix list. Okay.
Sweet.
So, all right. So now if we open up the tablet, come on, you can do it. Look at you go, computer. All right. So when we come in here and we go to the Hale, we can change over to user submitted, the tool time test. And when we click on that hood panel now, and we pick our 1 to 5 quarters is the $400.
Yeah. See, that's awesome. That's really good. You know, myself and Daniel, we're not too excited about this because we see one a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But there are a lot of Hale companies out there that have stated over and over that one of the 26 Hale matrices that we have within the system doesn't apply to them. Now, just make it apply. It's kind of no different than doing your price of dent, your large dent calculator.
You can take the State Farm one and just manipulate it into your own personal one, right?
Sure, you can modify any of the other ones that you wanted, and that's actually, I believe, that's the DRP I think that comes up, which is really, I mean, the numbers fall right into line with the State Farm stuff.
Gotcha. Cool. All right,
And guys could share that, right? Essentially, if they make up one and somebody else wants to.
Yeah, you could print it out and email it off.
Yeah, you could email them that CRV number, or not CRV.
Yeah.
Is it C
the file?
Well, you could load them send somebody that CSV file without an issue. Yeah,
awesome.
And that's not a big deal.
No. Okay, so moving on.
Those are the big new changes that are already in there.
One more.
I know we're moving on to the other change that we love.
Okay.
Is retail stores.
Okay, good.
John, and it's very important to us.
Yes.
It's very important to us. You cannot.
List it out.
Okay, well, that's changing the invoice and putting the schematic of the car and the picture of the car on there. I know it doesn't seem like much.
Okay.
That's what.
All right. So,
right, Daniel, that's
It's huge. Yes. It's big.
all right. I forgot to. I didn't include that in my list, but let me bring up that print preview. So, because we got to put both devices up on the screen at the same time. So,
all right, first of all,
all
don't show them how to do it yet. Show them the invoice. Show them the end result of what it'll look like now.
Okay. So now you've got some optional PDFs. You can change your PDFs. The default PDFs that are in the system right now is the PDF. If you choose the Elite PDF package, you can now have it show of this where you can have the little car icon in this. This is normally a dead space, so it's not. We're not making room on the page for this at all. Yeah. What we do make room for now is if you want the icon with the damaged panel showing. Now, this is that car that you saw me do the text on. We added that Hale repair, and we had a price dent, door dent on this for a different demo that I was doing.
Nice.
So,
okay. So now
but here we've added this, and it shows this.
That's the Elite. That's the Elite.
And
that is the
what's
Elite.
great about this is, I print these out and have the customer sign it, and then I have a magnetic board, and I put it up in the order I need to do the cars, and it helps me visually look at where the dent is, so I know which way I'm pulling the car in, frontwards or backwards, right or left or whatever. But also to write notes, because customers come in all the time and say, "Oh, I got a little scratch over here. Can you buff that or touch that up?" And that way I can make notes and draw on where it is, because the day goes along and you forget, and then you can visually check it and see your notes and see where you circled.
Right. So how do you get to there?
All right. So again, we're going into our back office portal.
Yep.
So we're going to start in our company information section. This time we're going to invoices and estimates. Mm-hmm. So we're going to click on the invoices and estimates. And then we're down here right at the PDF template. We have the basic, which is this version that everybody has, and that's going to be the default setting.
Go ahead and click on basic.
And then we have the Elite. All right, I can only click on one thing at a time. I got to clear my buttons.
Everyone's probably, if you have not discovered this, it looks like this right now. Okay, if you go into the back office, you're going to see it's going to say basic.
Basic.
You want to do is click on Elite. Like John.
Yep, you want to go to Elite, and then if you want the vehicle images and the diagrams, make sure both those are blue. If you want to get rid of the vehicle diagrams, then we can hit those save changes. And now we're going to the Elite version. We'll have that little image of that car show up, but we won't have that big diagram show up anymore.
Now, there is one downside I found to this is that if you have a lot of information in there, it will print out on 2 pages sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If
you got the diagram on there,
it's 2 pages.
It blows up. So now here's what it looks like, because I've kept the car, but I got rid of that big diagram.
Right.
I know
that's handy too for Hale guys. They know what color of the car is. That's good. Yeah. Right.
What if they're out in the they walk out to the lot to grab the Cadillac 17 CTS-V, and it's red, and they're in a sea of cars. They're able to identify, color.
Yeah. Or they got, 5 Toyota Camrys, and they know what color to look for, Yeah.
I think it's great. It just looks like a more professional invoice. Not that it didn't look like a professional invoice, but now it's like, wow, it's cool.
Yeah. Well, now we give you some options. There were some people that wanted a lot more information. We quizzed like Mega Media. We gave it, and some people were like, yeah. And some people were like, no, don't touch my stuff.
I've been fighting for this one for about 4 years now.
So the simplest solution was to give you guys the option to pick.
Yeah. Now we're kind of running out of time. The last one that I think is going to be really useful, if we could run over real quick before we run out, is writing pictures or circling pictures. Pull up a picture of a dent, and you can write on them now in your estimate. Can you pull that up for our listening audience or viewing audience this time?
Yeah, we're in the viewing audience. All right, I'm gonna have to find something. All right, here we go. We got one with the picture.
There you go. Detail screens. There you go.
So, all right, let's see what we had in here for a photo somewhere along the lines. Okay. Here we go.
Okay. Steering wheel.
So, yeah, so when you're coming in and you snap your photo, you can just draw right on that photo. But that's actually, you know what? I'm just going to flip around the screen randomly here. So, that's going to be a perfect photo. So once we snap our photo, we can make sure that we're up here, and then we can draw. So if we need to circle a dent, we want to highlight it in color, or we want to say put an arrow, we can now do any of that right in the photo. So snap your photo, and you'll tap that little crayon in the upper right-hand corner. You can also add text where we preloaded some text.
Mm-hmm.
Which is huge, because like sometimes I'll get really picky customers and their dents are really, really small. They don't show up in the picture. You pull the car in, you're looking for the dent, you can't find it. You go to the picture, and my Tony the Tiger's circled exactly where they're at and pointed, and gives me lots of notes. Now I finally use the photo section where I honestly didn't use it before. Now I'm using it.
Yeah.
And then it's great for insurance companies too, when your photo doesn't show the dent very well.
Well, I love the fact that there's all these options now. A lot of us didn't know about them. We were just doing business as usual. Now we have options of circling dents and making things on pictures. We have customer retention. We have thank yous to send out to people. And these are all things that are time-saving options.
And it's perfect, Vince? Is we all have time now to populate it and work on this and perfect it.
Yeah, if there was ever a time. So I'll run down this quick coming soon. So, and actually coming very soon will be the first start of these are going pretty fast. And part of the reason why I wasn't able to keep up is I was so buried in other work with mobile tech that our programming crew is moving through this list at a high rate of speed. In the coming about a month or so should be the ability to take the credit card payments right within the app. You're going to be able to send those in. You can actually, forgot to add that you can disable the multi-car and require work orders. We can talk about that later. So scheduling. We're going to have a built-in scheduler that you'll be able to hopefully link to with some of those text alerts. But the main thing is having that scheduler built into the system. The guys are really brainstorming hard and working with lots of companies that use scheduling very heavily to make sure that this is a very fluid and easy to use scheduler. The next big thing that's coming in is going to be the landing page. I know we talked about this when we talked about emailing from server. However, that landing page is going to be even bigger and have lots more. So once you create that landing page for your client, whether it's a body shop, an insurance adjuster, anything you continue to add for that particular client, they're going to be able to look at that on the landing page. So that means 100 photos, updated estimates. Now, where this really comes into play is, say, those of you who are working for body shops all the time, you will no longer have to email them the PDF. If you want it for them, you create that estimate, it will automatically appear in their landing page for them.
Oh.
Then they can go into that landing page anytime they want. They can download that estimate. They can download any of their closed invoices.
And pictures.
Yep, all the photos. They can see how much they owe you on a running tally of those invoices that they have yet to pay on. They will be able to pay you through that landing page if you set up to take the payments through the app.
Wow.
So that landing page is going to be a monster tool that will save you time.
A month out or so, or
the landing page and the scheduling, probably figure 90 days, maybe a little longer between the two. About a month out is roughly where the credit cards are. So month, 6 weeks, right in there, and then it's going into the scheduling, and then the landing page is also. There's another crew doing that, so I don't really have much of a time frame on that landing page yet.
Gotcha. Do you happen to know what they're using for credit cards? Are they using Square or Intuit or?
We will use Stripe, the same system that you put your credit card into right now.
Stripe's great.
Yep. And Stripe's one of the largest credit card processing companies in the world. So,
okay. Well, cool.
But
now the landing page, I wasn't paying attention. The landing page is,
shame.
how do you send that to the customer? Just a link?
Yeah, you'll be able to share that link with them, and then they'll be able to save that link and be able to click into it anytime they need to.
Okay, got it.
One other thing for you guys with bigger companies that you want to make sure that you have single cars on estimates, single cars on invoices. You can actually come in, and this is right on your company info tab, the very first screen when you come into your back office portal. You can disable that multi-car estimate and invoice. Awesome. You can also require that work orders be created from an estimate. That way, your employees always have to create that estimate, so you always have that closed estimate within your list.
Nice.
And the very last thing to show is we're going back to the tablet. We've got to show this and discuss this while we were in the Hale section. For those of you that have had your account in suspension for the winter, the add-ons are now right underneath the dent count and size. So no more changing screens when you're writing. This is really big on the phone, because the phone you're using your thumb and you're just going right down the screen. You're not leaving the screen to get those add-ons put on.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's already running.
Yeah. Pretty much everything I've showed is already in the system. It's live. You'll see it all in your back office portal. Make those changes, customize things the way you want them to be, and then they're right there in the app. This Hale add-on is direct, and the credit cards, scheduling, and the customer landing page are all coming soon, yet hopefully before midsummer. Hopefully.
That's a lot. And you know
it's
what?
Huge.
That's awesome. So applaud to Mobile Tech RX for keeping us going and making us more money week after week and update after update. Just making
our life easier, man.
Yeah. Well,
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be some big stuff.
Yeah. Well, wonderful. Listen, it's time to end our show.
Already?
It is. Yeah, you were out signing loan docs. So you missed out on it a little bit. But it's the end of our show, and we want to thank everyone for listening. This has been episode 212. John, do you want to finish with anything else?
Well, fellas, don't do stupid stuff.
And thanks, Dan, from PDR Contractors, for coming out, too.
Yeah.
And level up your tools by buying Mobile Tech RX.
Yes. And keep it stiff. I don't have any other punchline. Thanks for listening.
See you, everybody.
Visit AnsonPDR.com for the largest selection for just about all your PDR tools, where you'll find hog glue and hog tabs.
Mobile Tech RX, the app that helps you make more money.
Don't forget to grab your Magnatech mat, available at most PDR tool distributors.